Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. In this video I will show you top 10 best anime where main character is overpowered villain. So be sure to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. So let's start the ranking. Number 10. Inuyashiki. Ichiro Inuyashiki is a 58-year-old family man who is going through a difficult time in his life. Though his frequent back problems are painful, nothing hurts quite as much as the indifference and distaste that his wife and children have for him. Despite this, Ichiro still manages to find solace in Hangako, an abandoned Shiba Inu that he adopts into his home. However, his life takes a turn for the worse when a follow-up physical examination reveals that Ichiro has stomach cancer and only 3 months to live. Though he tries to be strong, his family's disinterest causes an emotional breakdown. Running off into a nearby field, Ichiro embraces his dog and weeps, until he notices a strange figure standing before him. Suddenly, a bright light appears and Ichiro is enveloped by smoke and dust. When he comes to, he discovers something is amiss. He has been reborn as a mechanized weapon wearing the skin of his former self. Though initially shocked, the compassionate Ichiro immediately uses his newfound powers to save a life, an act of kindness that fills him with happiness and newfound hope. However, the origins of these strange powers remain unclear. Who was the mysterious figure at the site of the explosion? And are they as kind as Ichiro when it comes to using this dangerous gift? Number 9. InuYasha. Based on the Shogakukan award-winning manga of the same name, InuYasha follows Kagome Higurashi, a 15-year-old girl whose normal life ends when a demon drags her into a cursed well on the grounds of her family's Shinto shrine. Instead of hitting the bottom of the well, Kagome ends up 500 years in the past during Japan's violent Sengoku period with the demon's true target, a wish-granting jewel called the Shikan Jewel, reborn inside of her. After a battle with a revived demon accidentally causes the sacred jewel to shatter, Kagome enlists the help of a young hybrid dog demon/human named InuYasha to help her collect the shards and prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. Joining Kagome and InuYasha on their quest are the orphan fox demon Shippo, the intelligent monk Naraku, and the lethal demon slayer Sango. Together, they must set aside their differences and work together to find the power-granting shards spread across feudal Japan and deal with the threats that arise. Number 8. Gankutsuou. In the year 5053, French aristocrats Viscount Albert de Morcerf and Baron Franz de Pina attend the festival of Carnival on the moon city of Luna. While Franz is just looking to have fun, Albert is seeking something more to fill his life, but he finds more than he bargained for in the Count of Monte Cristo, a mysterious and charming self-made nobleman who meets his gaze during an opera performance. Through a few twists and turns, Albert befriends the Count and introduces him into French society. The Count, however, has more on his mind than just friendship. He plots to finally unleash his vengeance on those who wronged him years earlier. Gankutsuou follows Albert and the Count's intertwined destinies and the ultimate price paid for enacting revenge. Number 7. Darker Than Black. It has been 10 years since Heaven's Gate appeared in South America and Hell's Gate appeared in Japan, veiling the once familiar night sky with an oppressive skyscape. Their purpose is unknown. These gates are spaces in which the very laws of physics are ignored. With the appearance of the gates emerged contractors, who, in exchange for their humanity, are granted supernatural abilities. In the Japanese city surrounding Hell's Gate, Section 4 Chief Misaki Kirara finds herself at odds with an infamous contractor codenamed Hai. Called Black Reaper in the underground world, Hai, like his associates, undertakes missions for the mysterious and ruthless syndicate while slowly peeling back the dark layers covering a nefarious plot that threatens the very existence of contractors. From the mind of Tensai Okamura comes a sci-fi thriller taking the form of a subtle exposé on a war in which political positions and justice have no sway, a war waged exclusively in the shadows. Number 6. Zankyou no Terror. Painted in red, the word VUN is all that is left behind after a terrorist attack on a nuclear facility in Japan. The government is shattered by their inability to act, and the police are left frantically searching for ways to crack down the perpetrators. The public are clueless, until, 6 months later, a strange video makes its way onto the internet. In it, 2 teenage boys who identify themselves only as Sphinx directly challenge the police, threatening to cause destruction and mayhem across Tokyo. Unable to stop the mass panic quickly spreading through the city and desperate for any leads in their investigation, the police struggle to act effectively against these terrorists, with Detective Kenjiro Shibazaki caught in the middle of it all. Zankyou no Terror tells the story of 9 and 12, the 2 boys behind the masked figures of Sphinx. They should not exist, yet they stand strong in a world of deception and secrets while they make the city fall around them, all in the hopes of burying their own tragic truth. Number 5. Rurouni Kenshin. In the final years of the Bakumatsu era lived a legendary assassin known as Hitakiri Batauzai. Feared as a merciless killer, he was unmatched throughout the country, but mysteriously disappeared at the peak of the Japanese Revolution. It has been 10 peaceful years since then, but the very mention of Batauzai still strikes terror into the hearts of war veterans. Unbeknownst to them, Batauzai has abandoned his blood-stained lifestyle in an effort to repent for his sins, now living as Kenshin Himura, a wandering swordsman with a cheerful attitude and a strong will. Vowing never to kill again, Kenshin dedicates himself to protecting the weak. One day, he stumbles across Karukamiya at her kendo dojo, which is being threatened by an imposter claiming to be Batauzai. After receiving help from Kenshin, Karu allows him to stay at the dojo, and so the former assassin temporarily ceases his travels. Rurouni Kenshin, Meiji Kinkaku Romantan tells the story of Kenshin as he strives to save those in need of saving. However, as enemies from both past and present begin to emerge, will the reformed killer be able to uphold his new ideals? Number 4. Psychopaths. Justice, and the enforcement of it, has changed. In the 22nd century, Japan enforces the Sybil system, an objective means of determining the threat level of each citizen by examining their mental state for signs of criminal intent, known as their psychopaths. Inspectors uphold the law by subjugating, often with lethal force, anyone harboring the slightest ill will. Alongside them are enforcers, jaded inspectors that have become latent criminals, granted relative freedom in exchange for carrying out the inspector's dirty work. Into this world steps Sakantsu Maori, a young woman with an honest desire to uphold justice. However, as she works alongside veteran enforcer Shinya Kugami, she soon learns that the Sybil system's judgments are not as perfect as her fellow inspectors assume. With everything she has known turned on its head, Akane wrestles with the question of what justice truly is, and whether it can be upheld through the use of a system that may already be corrupt. Number 3. Hellsing. Hellsing, an organization specializing in dealing with supernatural threats, is called in to eliminate a vampire that is turning the villagers of Cheddar into ghouls. To put an end to this, the leader of the organization, Sir Integra Fairbrook Wingates Hellsing, dispatches her most formidable asset, a powerful vampire known as Alucard. Armed with only a single handgun, Alucard wreaks havoc on the monsters plaguing Cheddar. However, a young police officer, Sarah's Victoria, gets caught up in the chaos and becomes mortally wounded as a result. Taking pity on the girl, Alucard gives her a choice: die as a human or live on as a vampire. Sarah's accepts his offer and begins a new life as a member of Hellsing. Though it was her decision, Sarah struggles with the fact that she is no longer human. Nevertheless, she must embrace being a creature of the night soon if she wants to survive on the front lines in the fight between humans and the supernatural. Number 2. Monster. Dr. Kenzu Tenma, an elite neurosurgeon recently engaged to his hospital director's daughter, is well on his way to ascending the hospital hierarchy. That is until one night, a seemingly small event changes Dr. Tenma's life forever. While preparing to perform surgery on someone, he gets a call from the hospital director telling him to switch patients and instead perform life-saving brain surgery on a famous performer. His fellow doctors, fiancé, and the hospital director applaud his accomplishment, but because of the switch, a poor immigrant worker is dead, causing Dr. Tenma to have a crisis of conscience. So when a similar situation arises, Dr. Tenma stands his ground and chooses to perform surgery on the young boy Johann Liebert instead of the town's mayor. Unfortunately, this choice leads to serious ramifications for Dr. Tenma, losing his social standing being one of them. However, with the mysterious death of the director and 2 other doctors, Dr. Tenma's position is restored. With no evidence to convict him, he is released and goes on to attain the position of hospital director. 9 years later, when Dr. Tenma saves the life of a criminal, his past comes back to haunt him. Once again, he comes face to face with the monster he operated on. He must now embark on a quest of pursuit to make amends for the havoc spread by the one he saved. Number 1. Code Geass. In the year 2010, the Holy Empire of Britannia is establishing itself as a dominant military nation, starting with the conquest of Japan. Renamed to Area 11 after its swift defeat, Japan has seen significant resistance against these tyrants in an attempt to regain independence. Lelouch Barrage, a Britannian student, unfortunately finds himself caught in a crossfire between the Britannian and the Area 11 rebel armed forces. He is able to escape, however, thanks to the timely appearance of a mysterious girl named Cece, who bestows upon him Geass, the power of kings. Realizing the vast potential of his newfound power of absolute obedience, Lelouch embarks upon a perilous journey as the masked vigilante known as Zero, leading a merciless onslaught against Britannia in order to get revenge once and for all. Code Geass, Hanyaku no Lelouch is an original anime series by Sunrise Animation Studio with original character designs by the all-female Japanese manga artist group Clamp. Manga and light novels based off the show have been published by Kadokawa Shoten. The show has sold millions of DVDs and Blu-ray volumes and is extremely popular in both Japan and North America. The show is known for its multi-genre appeal and for its diverse cast of characters who face many moral dilemmas over the course of the series.